Hey, how you doing? My name's Alex McCoy, and I'm the chef and owner of Lucky Buns, a burger shop in Washington, D.C. Burgers are my thing. I'm a burger guy. I've been cooking burgers for years. It's my favorite thing to cook, and I'm so happy to be able to be here and show you guys how to cook the best possible burger. I want to start with the meat, because the meat is the most important part of a burger here. There's more to just beef than 80-20 ground beef. 80-20 ground beef is the lean to fat ratio, okay? And that's very important in your beef, because what you want is a good balance between fat and flavor. Now, this particular blend that we have is a blend that I really like to use. We've got a good amount of lean meat here, so you've got your brisket, you've got a little bit of chuck, and then we have some short rib thrown in here as well, okay? And what that makes is a really good flavorful meat, but also has a lot of nice fat into it, so you get a really good juicy burger. Another really important aspect of this meat, as it comes, you'll notice that you see the fibers of the meat. These fibers, we don't want to mess with them too much, okay? Play with your meat as little as possible. And I know it sounds like a funny thing to say, but the more and more that you mash your meat up, the more that these fibers of the meat are going to start to fall apart. We're going to just treat it very, very, very gently. The way I like to make my patties is I just take my meat here, and you just want to very gently, in the palm of your hand, make a small ball. And notice that I haven't really mashed the thing up. What happens is when the meat cooks, if you have the fibers intact, they're gonna form little nooks and crannies inside of the patty that's gonna hold on to juices and fat, and that's gonna create a really, really juicy burger. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our patty and we're just gonna very gently, not more than a few times, smash it down. Notice I haven't seasoned the meat ahead of time. You don't see me adding eggs to it. You don't see me adding Worcestershire or garlic or any of that stuff. That's like your classic, like, dad's backyard burger. The way that your family's been cooking burgers for years, no. The way we want to cook a burger, it's really all about the really good meat here. I'm gonna show you 3 different ways of cooking burgers. We're gonna cook it first by searing it on a skillet, one on one side for 3 minutes, and then 3 minutes on the other side. We're gonna cook another patty by flipping it every 15 seconds, and then we're gonna cook it a third way by putting it in the oven. And what we're trying to do here is form that wonderful crust on the burger. And what that is that's the Maillard effect. And the Maillard effect is when the proteins in the meat come in contact with a nice hot pan, and they caramelize on the outside. And that caramelization adds a ton of flavor, and it also helps to hold the moisture into the meat. With burgers, seasoning is very important. It's really about creating a salty crust, peppery crust on the outside, and then having the flavor of the meat on the inside really be natural and just full of beefy flavor. So what we want to do is we really want to load up the outside of our meat with a good layer of salt and a good layer of pepper. Fresh cracked pepper, always the way to go. That pepper is really going to make that meat pop. Now we're going to go with kosher salt. The size of the flakes are perfect for grilling meat, for making dressings. Don't be afraid to season. Really get in there and season it. We definitely don't season ahead of time because inside this meat are tons of juices and fats and delicious bits of flavor. If you salt ahead of time, what that does is that actually leaches a lot of the liquid and the juices out of this meat. I'm sure sometimes you guys have made a burger at home and you've seasoned it ahead of time, and then by the time you get ready to put it on the grill, there's a pool of juice. And that's because the salt is releasing those juices from the meat. And the problem is if you don't have those juices inside the burger, well, those juices are not gonna be in the burger. So we wanna make sure that we season this burger no more than, 10, 15 minutes ahead of time. And it's generally better to season your patties individually and not season the actual bulk meat itself. It just has to be a nice size, and make sure you haven't played with it too much, season well, and you're gonna come up with a great burger. I wanna get one of these burgers into the oven because this is gonna take about 10 minutes to cook, and we've set it at 200 degrees. And this is truly set it and forget it. Now, what I've done is I have a cast iron skillet. Cast iron is the ideal way to cook a burger. And the reason for that is the iron itself, the metal. What it does is it holds on to this heat for a very long time. And when you're cooking meat, you definitely want a consistent heat. And I put a little neutral oil in here. Now, You don't want something that's gonna impart too much flavor into the burger. So olive oil, probably not a best choice. Now, I'm using sunflower oil today, has a high smoking temperature, which is what we want to get that nice crust. But you could also use butter, great to use butter. Duck fat and beef fat is always gonna be the best. We want this cast iron to be super hot. We want this to cook really, really fast. We want to form that Maillard reaction on the outside of the burgers, and we want the inside of the burger to be nice and juicy and medium rare. We're looking for a really nice smoky pan, so we know that this pan is super hot. So I'm gonna go ahead and put one patty down. This is gonna be the patty that we sit. This patty here, this is the patty we're leaving. We're gonna let it sit. And we're gonna flip this burger every 15 seconds. The sizzle is telling us what's going on in this pan. It's telling us that the fat and the meat is reacting with the pan and creating a wonderful crust. If you don't hear this sound, then you're not cooking a burger properly. This one, we're flipping every 15 seconds. We've already noticed the Maillard effect taking hold on this burger here. Now, the reason why we're doing this is that as we flip this burger, the temperature inside the burger is gonna remain a little bit more constant so that one side isn't cooking faster than the other side. The goal here is to create a perfect medium rare in the middle without having those little bits of brown cooked meat kind of moving itself up in the inside. So the first patty's been cooking for about 3 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and give that a flip. And look at that crust. That's exactly what we're going for. I'm gonna go ahead and put the cheese on this. Now, cheese for me is a great gauge at how a burger's cooking. What I wanna see is this cheese melted nicely, draped over that. It lets me know that that burger is just about done. We're getting really close here, and I can tell, and this is a very important tool when cooking a good burger, your hands. We've got all this fancy equipment, but your hands are still the most important tool. We just want to touch the center of this burger, and we're going to feel the resistance. Now, I'm noticing already that this burger here is just about done. So I'm going to go ahead and put this aside. Now, because this burger is just about ready as well, we're going to go ahead and put our cheese on that, and we're going to wait for that to melt. In the meantime, we have burger 1 and burger 2 here on the table resting. Burger 1, you remember, is the burger that we cooked on 3 minutes at each side before putting the cheese on. Burger 2 is the burger that we flipped every 15 seconds. So we're gonna see how these end up. But burger 3 we have in the oven. We wanna check it. It's been here for about 5 minutes. We wanna go ahead and see the internal temperature. This burger, when it comes out of the oven, you're gonna notice it doesn't look very appetizing. Appearances can be deceiving because inside here is some really good juicy meat, but we want to make sure that the temperature is right. So what I have right now is my digital thermometer. We're going to go inside and we just want to take a look. And boom, this is perfect. This is 110 degrees. It's going up to about 112, 113. That's exactly what we're looking for. Now, medium rare is 125 degrees, so why wouldn't we bring it out at 125 degrees? Well, that's because we're going to finish cooking this burger in the skillet. And if we went ahead and took this out at 125 degrees, we would continue to cook. And if it continued to cook, it's gonna overcook. So we wanna go ahead and we wanna bring the burger out when it's less. It's about 110, 109 degrees, so we can get that perfect crust and perfect medium rare texture on the inside. Now, we don't need to cook this too long, but what we really want is to just leave it. We wanna go ahead and form that Maillard reaction. Look at that. Look at that beautiful crust. That's exactly what we're looking for right there. Now, as I did with the other burgers, we want to go ahead and just put our cheese on. All right, guys, here we go. Now we're going to take this bad boy. We're going to go ahead and let it rest. Boom. When you finish a burger, you want to let it sit for about 5 minutes. And the reason for that is when you cook burgers or you cook any kind of a meat, the juices and the fat inside the meat actually start moving towards the extremities of the meat. We want to go ahead and allow those juices to come back into the interior of the meat. All right, here we go. Final result. It's the time to unveil the best burger. So we have our 3 burgers here. We have burger number 1. This burger we cooked for 3 minutes on either side. Burger number 2, this is a burger we flipped every 15 seconds. And burger number 3, this is a burger we started in the oven and we finished off searing on the cast iron. So burger number 1. So we're gonna cut this open and see how it is. So take a look at this burger. Now this burger is a medium rare burger, but there's less of the actual medium rare and more of this overcooked exterior. Now this is our burger that we flipped every 15 seconds. There's much more of that medium rare on the inside. There's less of that brown kind of overcooked exterior. And the reason for that is that as we were flipping the burger more and more and more, we were allowing less time for the inside of the meat to raise temperature. So let's go see how the third burger is gonna do. And this is the burger that we put in the oven. First and foremost, you'll notice this burger is a little bit plumper than the rest of the burgers. So let's see how it looks on the inside. Similar look to the burger that we flipped every 15 seconds. What we have is a nice medium rare on the inside. We have a little bit of cooked outside, but we still have a wonderful, juicy, crispy burger. Now it's time for the buns. One of the more important parts of a burger. Big old, soft, squishy bun is what you need to make a delicious burger. Now, how can you make a bun that stands up to all of the juices and all the toppings that you put inside your burger? We're gonna take some mayonnaise, we're gonna spread it on the bun, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put it on the heat and just toast it a touch. The mayonnaise is hydrophobic, which means it repels liquids. You're essentially creating a force field between the burger and the bread. The other aspect of this is that it just tastes better. We're gonna put these burgers together. We've got all of our toppings. We've got our avocados that are nice and ripe, pickles, tomatoes, we have our lettuce, we've got the onions, and we have our beautiful burgers. So the first thing first is we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of lettuce under the bun. We're gonna put some pickles down there, because you gotta have your pickles. When it comes to putting together a burger, there's a roadmap that I like to follow. And that roadmap is that you have a nice crispy bun, you have the texture of a crunchy piece of lettuce, you have that nice acidic bite of the pickles, and then you have a little bit more crunch, and again, a nice peppery note that comes from the onions. And we're gonna finish this off with just a little bit of sauce because we do want a bit of moisture in the bun, and that's gonna be brought with our mayo. And that right there, to me, is a perfect burger. I can't talk much longer without having a bite here, so enjoy. That's a burger. That's the way a burger should taste. Guys, go make a burger. I'm gonna go finish this one here. Enjoy. Perfect. Can't even talk. There you go. That was a good burger. Another bite.